Hi guys, this is The School Mouse, Part 3, in which Flora reads a story. The 5 letters, each so different from its fellows, that made up the first word were key to Flora's progress. As she crouched in the hole in the wall, eagerly watching the children reading from their various books, she began to recognize those strangely shaped marks. This was especially so when one of them was the first letter of a word that meant something to her. The shape M, for example, stood not only for mouse, but for mother. O was for owl, and although Flora had never seen one, Hyacinth had told them what made that melancholy nighttime cry outside the school. And U began a number of common words like us and up and under, while S was for lots of things mice did, like squeak and scurry and sniff, and E for another, most important one, eat. One word led to another, and since Flora not only looked but also listened as each of the children read to the teacher every day, she began to match the shape of the word on the page to the sound that came out of the child's mouth. Never was there such an attentive, hard-working school mouse as Flora. As winter vacation approached, something else happened that was to further Flora's education. One weekend, a time when the school mice had the place to themselves, Hyacinth called the family conference in the cupboard in the kindergarten room. Ragged Robin, the dad, had taken little notice of his 10 children being too busy, like all his fellows, searching for food. But now summoned by his wife, he gave the Mousekins his full attention. "I say, Heiss," he cried, "I must congratulate you, my love. You have reared 10 splendid children. How strong and healthy they look." "They are," said Hyacinth. "Say hello to Daddy, children." "Hello, Daddy," chorused the Mousekins, all except Flora, who said, "Hello, Father," a word that she had recently learned. "And now," said Hyacinth, "say goodbye." "To Daddy?" asked one of the children. "To both of us," said Hyacinth. "It is time for you all. It is time for... start over. It is time you all went to seek your fortunes out in the great wide school." "Yippee!" cried the 9 Mousekins, and away they went, out of the cupboard, onto the desk, onto the floor, and out through one or another of the doors of the kindergarten classroom, rejoicing that they were kindergartners no longer. Only Flora remained. She did not at all wish her education to be interrupted. "Mother," she said, "please, can I stay here? I like it here. I wouldn't be in your way." There's the family meeting. "You won't," said Hyacinth, "because I am not staying. That hole in the wall is drafty. I'm off to find somewhere cozier for the next brood." "Next brood, Hythe?" said Robin. "Next brood of what?" "Babies, you silly," said Hyacinth crossly. "Haven't you noticed?" Ragged Robin looked at his wife. You seem to have put on weight, grown plumper, that is," he said. "I had not realized." "Hadn't you?" said Hyacinth. "Another lot of babies," said Robin thoughtfully. "And so soon? I don't know how you do it, Heiss." Hyacinth looked at her scruffy husband with a mixture that was scorn and resignation. "Run along, Robin," she said, "and see if you can find somewhere really comfortable for me. Preferably not in one of the other classrooms. Children are so noisy." "Right-ho, Heiss," said Ragged Robin. "I'll try the staff room first. Meet me there." And off he went. "Now, young lady," said Hyacinth, "just what is this all about? You saw how anxious your brothers and sisters were to be gone. Why do you want to stay here?" "Please, Mother," said Flora, "it's a good place for my lessons." "Lessons?" "Yes, Mother, I'm learning to read." To read, said Hyacinth. What on earth does that mean? To make sense of the words in books, Mother. It's what the school children are taught to do. They are learning to read, and so am I. It's very interesting. At first, I could only read the odd word here or there, but before long, I hope to be able to read a whole story. Flora, said Hyacinth sternly, I haven't the foggiest idea about what you're talking, except for that it's rubbish. Whoever heard of mice doing the same things that people do? Next thing, you'll be walking about on your hind legs. You listen to me, my girl. Just forget about all this nonsense. You've got too high opinion of yourself, and that's the trouble. Giving yourself airs and making out that you're cleverer than the rest of us. You are just an ordinary school mouse, and don't you forget it. And with that, Hyacinth went out through the cupboard doors and dropped carefully, because of the burden she was carrying, down the desk and onto the floorway and away. All right, I'll be back later with part 4.